Okay, we're going to go ahead and begin, so we can just kind of stay on task. If you haven't received your sheet yet, it'll be coming around. Make sure you get that so you can follow along. I may branch off at times depending on what kind of questions you guys have or what I feel is necessary for this group. And once again, my name is Jared Winger, and it's a pleasure to be here. Appreciate you guys taking your time to come to this this class regarding essential oils. And what you'll find and discover very quickly is that I'm very passionate about essential oils. They're absolutely amazing. I didn't know much about them about 4 years ago, okay? And was very skeptical because I didn't understand, and many of you guys maybe already understand this. I didn't understand that essential oils are as effective as they are because they're all based on science. They have very specific properties associated with them, okay? I also didn't know that almost all Western medicine, in the form of pharmaceuticals, prescriptions, antibiotics, over-the-counter medications, I did not know that almost all of them were derived from plant medicine. Okay? Pretty cool. When I discovered that, it started to make a lot more sense to me. And so, we're going to be talking about essential oils. We'll be talking about different grades of essential oils. We'll be talking about more practical applications, how to use and implement essential oils into your daily life with you, your family, how to take care of your family naturally. My intention, okay, for this class is to try to educate and inspire you in ways to take care of your family naturally that you never thought possible. That's what my intention is. So hopefully I do an okay job with that. And again, appreciate you guys being here. So with that, let's get started. Does anybody not have the handouts? Can you please raise your hand? Anybody? Anybody in the back? And Holly, if you could just kind of let us know when new people, any latecomers come, if they need some handouts, we'll go and get those. Can everybody still hear me? Okay. Okay, there's a few things I want you guys to really remember. I'm gonna throw a lot of information at you. It's gonna be coming pretty quick. Soak in what you can. But I want you to remember a few things that I think would be important to you regarding essential oils. And a lot of what I do, I try to compare and contrast the oils with what you're used to, okay? Most people are used to Western medicine. That's what we grew up with, that's what we're used to, that's all we know. The intention of this class, and the purpose of this class, is to give you another option so you have more choices, okay? Because, you know, let me just back up a little bit, and again, as always, I start the class with a disclaimer that we don't claim to treat, cure, any kind of disease. Our philosophy is to show you and educate you how to boost your immune system, how to use certain oils in this case with very specific properties, okay, that are going to naturally boost your immune system to allow you to take care of your health naturally, okay? And so I like to compare and contrast oils with Western medicine, and because I think people relate to that better, okay? So the difference, okay, here's one of the differences. The oils are natural. Anything Western medicine, anything mainstream medicine is going to be synthetic, okay? And there's a reason for that, and many of you guys, especially this crowd, probably gets it, probably understands it. But I'm going to answer it anyways in case, you know, there's a lot of people that just haven't heard of it. The fact that you know, Western medicine, they can't, well, not necessarily Western medicine, but anybody, you can't patent something that occurs naturally in nature. You cannot patent an orange, okay, or a peppermint leaf. You can't patent a birch tree, right? And so, but they contain very powerful properties. And so what actually happens, and this will make sense to you, but in order for them to be able to patent that, or the properties within that plant in this case, they have to isolate the properties that are effective. So if something is anti-inflammatory, they'll have to isolate the anti-inflammatory properties in the lab, create it synthetically so that they can put a patent on it and then sell it to you. That's just how the world works. So we're going to show you a better way okay? And the first thing I want you guys to remember is they're all natural. Keep in mind, anything synthetic, which is all our Western medicine, they're going to have negative side effects. Many of you guys have already experienced that. That's kind of what got you on the path to looking at alternative medicine. So, with them being all natural, there's some pretty cool benefits that come along with that, okay? Like, you can't become addicted to the oils. You can become addicted to pharmaceuticals, right? It's getting a little scary because it's so rampant. People that are dying from properly prescribed medication. Okay, the numbers are astounding. So they're all natural. You can't become addicted to it. Another aspect is you cannot build up a resistance. This is important. You cannot build up a resistance to oils, whereas antibiotics, we know a lot of people, and it's becoming more and more common to become completely immune or resistant to antibiotics, and that just comes with the overuse usually from an early age, and now we're giving our kids antibiotics from below 2 years old and on. It's just a matter of time. People are becoming more immune to them at an earlier age nowadays. And I speak from experience. My mother is immune to all antibiotics. They do not work for her. Okay, and so she would get sick pretty regularly because she couldn't fight it. The oils changed her life. Okay, because your bodies cannot become immune to it. One of the reasons, a lot of people say, well, why is that? And the easy explanation is anything synthetic, okay, it was created in a lab, it's going to be very simple in structure. It's 3, 4, maybe 5 ingredients total that make up that antibiotic. Okay? Whereas the oils, they contain anywhere between 50 and upwards of 400 different compounds or constituents that make up that one oil. On top of that, they're not created in a lab. So no two batches are identical. They grow in different harvests. And those harvests can range in those constituents depending on how much rainfall that particular harvest got that year, how much sunshine, what time of day was picked. There's too many variables. It's literally impossible for your body to become resistant to the oils. Pretty cool. Okay? So what you're looking at, I don't know how clear that is. A peppermint leaf on the left. And on the right, kind of looks like an alien planet, but that's actually a peppermint leaf too. It's magnified about 10,000 times. And you cannot, these white sacs right here, those are oil sacs. Okay, you cannot see that with the naked eye. Something kind of neat. With oils, okay, by the way, oils, for those that don't know what essential oils are, where they come from, they're natural aromatic compounds from all parts of the plant. It could be from the seeds, the stem, the roots, the bark, the leaves, the flower. It could be from any part of the plant. Okay? This happens to be a peppermint leaf. The effective portion of that plant is the leaf. And how many of you guys have used herbs? Okay, probably everybody, right? Herbs are powerful. Herbs work. Herbs are natural. Okay? But they're different than oils because oils are extremely concentrated. They're about 70 times, not 70%. There's a difference, 70 times, so like 7,000% more potent than herbs. Okay, that's a big deal. A little bit goes a long ways. And why they're so potent is because it takes a heck of a lot of plant to produce a little bit of oil. With peppermint specifically, it actually takes 2,000 pounds or 1 ton of peppermint leaf, just the leaf. Okay, not the stem, not any other part of the plant, just the leaf, 2,000 pounds to produce about 12 ounces of essential oils. Some plants, it takes a lot more to produce even less amounts, and those would be more expensive oils. But it's pretty amazing how much plant goes into producing essential oils, so they're very, very powerful. This will kind of paint a little pretty picture on how powerful we're talking about. With peppermint, 1 drop of our peppermint oil is the equivalent of you drinking 28 cups of peppermint tea. Medicinally, health benefit-wise, that's what you're receiving. You probably know, or maybe yourselves already drink peppermint. Can you hear me? Already drink peppermint tea. You guys still here back there? You good? Okay. Thanks, Ron. Essential oil user. Okay, so that's a little easier, isn't it? To have to only drink 1 drop as opposed to 28 cups of peppermint tea. Number two, so they're great alternatives to synthetics or pharmaceuticals. A lot because of the benefits we already touched on. Okay, which you know, you can't become immune, not resistant, you can't become addicted. By the way, the oils, if they're pure, if they're pure oils without other residues, without synthetics, diluting agents, fillers, alcohols, if they're pure, there's no shelf life. I have to tell people about King Tut, you know, the Egyptian pharaoh. When they found his tomb, he was found buried with 160 liters of essential oils. Okay, that's pretty remarkable. And more fascinating is the fact that they were still potent 4,000 years after the fact. Pretty amazing. So they'll live a lot longer than you. They'll outlast you. But the point is, you'll save a lot of money on medical expenses. You'll save a lot of money not having to. You go look in your medicine cabinet right now. Okay, pharmaceuticals, prescriptions over the counter, they're going to expire. Okay. No wasting money. When you need them, they will be there. So from an emergency standpoint, I teach a lot of classes on emergency preparedness and food storage, 72-hour kits, bug-out bags. And with the oils, when you need them, they will be there. Number two, you don't need a prescription for them. Okay, so anybody can get them, and they're pretty easily portable, accessible. You know, they're light, grab them and go. Let's see, so I want to talk about the effectiveness of the oils, okay? You guys will understand this pretty well, because if you take your children into the doctors, we know that they'll prescribe an antibiotic for something bacterial-based, right? But what if it's a viral-based illness? Nothing you can do, is that what you said? Right? You get to wait it out? Is that any fun? So, what we mean by more effective is they work for more things, okay? Case in point, a lot of parents that have brought their children or themselves into the doctor's office that had something viral-based, okay, they understand that antibiotics don't work for something viral-based, but they don't understand why. The reason why, and this is helpful to know, the reason why is because, look at this picture right here. Viruses grow on the inside of a cell. Anything synthetic, okay, antibiotics are synthetic. Anything synthetic is what's called hydrophilic. They cannot penetrate the cell membrane, the fat-soluble cell membrane around the cell wall. Okay? So it cannot, no matter how bad you want it to work, it can't. Even if it's antiviral, it cannot work because it can't get in where the virus is, or where it's replicating. So the difference, essential oils are what's called lipophilic. They can all penetrate that fat-soluble cell membrane. Make sense? So most oils are antiviral, some extremely antiviral. So you take oils, you don't have to, wait it out, be miserable for 10 to 14 days, like your doctor tells you. It's just they don't understand essential oils. It's not part of their med school curriculum. Essential oils will all penetrate that cell wall, and if they're antiviral, they'll knock out that virus. Usually in a couple days, if not sooner. So wouldn't you have liked to know that before your doctor sent you home all those times? Here's some of the properties, okay? I love this about essential oils. They don't just contain one property, okay? You'll recognize a lot of these up here. You guys know what antibacterial is. You know what antiviral is. Antifungal, antiparasitic, anti-inflammatory, analgesic at the top. That means it's a painkiller, okay? The oils contain multiple properties. And so they don't work just for one thing. It's not a pill for every ill. Okay, one drug, one symptom. Okay, that's not how these work. These work, you have one oil, contains multiple properties. They can work for a whole myriad of different issues. And they work extremely fast. I'm gonna show you a video real quick. That's a video, can you start that? So this video is actually live blood analysis under a microscope. What I want to show you, and the purpose I want to point out here, is how fast the oils enter our bloodstream. They work really, really fast without all the side effects. Okay? So what you're looking at here is live blood work. I don't know how clear that is back there, but this is not what blood should look like. It's all piled on top of each other, coagulated, stuck. kind of call it stuck blood. Okay? This is not what it should look like. You don't have to be a blood expert to know that this is not healthy blood. So what happened after this? This is what you'll see for the first 30 seconds. Then the protocol was they put 1 drop of our blend balance on the bottom of the right foot. Okay, waited 30 seconds on the clock. Okay, talk about fast. 30 seconds on the clock. They pricked the same middle finger the technician did, and that's what you're seeing for the next 30 seconds. And you tell me if you can see a difference here. A little obvious. Okay, every blood cell should be cylindrical. Okay, by its own, not piled on top of each other, coagulated. It should be free flowing. See how those blood cells are just flowing in and out? That's what healthy blood should look like. So yes, the oils can affect physiologically, okay, your blood in a very, very quick manner. So let me touch on real quick. There's lots of essential oils. There's other essential oil companies. Why choose doTERRA essential oils? Let me get to a couple details, and then we get to the fun stuff. So there's different grades, okay? The vast majority of essential oil consumption worldwide is going to be the synthetic, okay? And I shouldn't say consumption, I should say usage, because you don't consume synthetics. This is in the form of like perfumes. We all know that essential oils are very strong in aroma, okay? So they're great for creating synthetically and adding to your perfume or whatever. You don't drink your perfume, there's no medicinal properties associated with that. Don't try it. The next grade, the next highest usage is in the food industry, okay? But it's still not therapeutic. It's still primarily synthetic, and it's there to do one thing, that's to match a flavor. Okay, that's all it does. The next highest grade is therapeutic. Now, a lot of you guys, the ones that rose your hands earlier about you using essential oils in the past, you've probably got therapeutic grade oils because they sell them in the health food stores. The problem with therapeutic, okay, and this is really, really important, the problem with therapeutic oils is the standard, there's not really even a standard for it. There's a required testing method, but it's such a loosely monitored standard that consumers have no idea. They think therapeutic, oh, it must be pure, right? Okay? Go to any health food store and look at the therapeutic grade oils on the shelf and find the part on the bottle. It's usually fine print somewhere that says do not consume or not for consumption or do not ingest. That doesn't mean you can't ingest oils. It means that they don't want to be held liable because they haven't done the necessary testing to ensure or guarantee the quality. Okay? So do not consume them because we don't want to be held liable. They don't know what's in there, okay? Because they don't do the testing. Case in point, things that could be in there, things like herbicides, like Roundup, okay? You don't want to consume Roundup, it's a poison. Pesticides, other alcohols, weed killer, all sorts of stuff. It can be synthetic. And the test for therapeutic grade does not measure whether it's synthetic or not. You have no idea. Okay? But this is why we educate people. This is why we have the classes. You need to know the difference. So, CPTG stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. Okay? We do a lot of additional testing, primarily in the form of let's see, gas chromatograph, right, and mass spectrometry. So mass spectrometry incorporates about 9 to 15 additional testing methods that are not required for therapeutic grade. It's going to make sure that nothing that should not be in there, like the herbicides and the pesticides and the alcohols and all that, are not in there. It's going to make sure also, and this is really key, it's going to make sure that each of those compounds, remember I mentioned that each oil can contain anywhere between 50 and 400 different compounds? It's going to make sure that those compounds or constituents are actually at therapeutic levels, so you can have health benefits. Okay, so you can benefit medicinally from that. So, by the way, the CPTG, this is not done as we feel like it or once a year. This is done on every single liter of essential oils, and this is really important. It is not done in-house, okay? If you do it in-house, there's a lot of room to cut corners. There's a lot of things you can get away with, okay? It's 2 independent third-party labs that test every single batch for CPTG quality. You must know that, okay? They're so pure that you can take them internally. In fact, all of our bottles, come and take a look as they get passed around. Our bottles have dietary labels on them, okay? That's important. You can take them internally. So that's why dōTERRA. That's the difference. Make sense? Okay, there are 3 ways to use essential oils. The first one I'm going to talk about is aromatically. Can you guys see this diffuser up here? This is kind of a neat little gadget because this diffuser, it's proprietary to dōTERRA. It's a cold diffuser, meaning it doesn't heat up the oils. It doesn't change the chemical nature or structure of the oil. So you get all the health benefits associated with that oil without heating it up. Okay? And this is a very, very simple application because, especially if you have a large family, okay, or you don't want to remember to apply them every single time, every day when you're trying to boost your immune system or get over something. This covers about 1,000 square foot area. So usually a whole downstairs of a home, an apartment, okay, kitchen, dining room, living room. And so everybody that steps foot in that house, whether they like it or not, is going to benefit from whatever oil you put in there. So what do we have in there? Citrus Bliss. So Citrus Bliss is a blend. 7 citrus oils. Citrus oils are extremely antiviral. Okay? They're also antifungal and antibacterial. So whatever oil we put in there, so we put a citrus oil in there, it's protecting the air, okay? Things that are surface level, you're also breathing that in. It's going in through your lungs, into your bloodstream, all within just a couple minutes. So by far the easiest application. I'm going to show you how you can get that for free. It's normally $120 retail or $90 wholesale, and we'll show you how to get it for free. The second application is topical. So most people are aware that they can use essential oils topically. Okay, the best application to do it this way is the bottom of the feet, especially in small children or infants, because the bottom of feet are, of course, less sensitive than other parts of the skin. Also, the pores are twice as large on the bottom of the feet, and so it goes to your bloodstream very, very quickly. Internally, now this is where we differ, right? So we've done the testing, we have the dietary labels on them. Internally is an awesome way to take essential oils because, well, there's 3 ways to do it. You can put it straight in your mouth, okay? Which some oils are very pleasant. Some oils you're not going to want to do that with. You can also put in a glass of water, okay, to dilute it. Because some oils, they're very concentrated. So you may not want to taste how strong they are. The third way is actually getting those empty gel capsules. You get what I'm talking about? In the health food store. Find the empty gel capsules. They're really cheap. And just put the essential oils in them, cap it off, swallow it. That's probably the simplest way to take them internally. Because then there's no taste, no aftertaste. But like I said, some of the oils are very pleasant, so you're going to want to taste them. Some not so much. Those are the 3 ways. So let's get in the oils. We're going to start with lavender. I know you guys have all heard of lavender. We're going to actually let you try them. Okay, so as we pass them around, I think we'll do 2. You want to do 1 on each side? Okay. And just make sure they get back up to the front afterwards. What I want you to do, and again, if you don't like the smell, most people love lavender, but if for some reason you don't like the smell of an oil, you don't need to put it on. Just smell it and pass it on. If you do like the smell, what I want you to do is go ahead and put a drop. You just tilt it upside down. It'll drop, drip a drop out. Put a drop in your hands and rub it together with your other hand. Okay? And then cup it, smell it. And then let's talk about some of the most common uses for lavender. Okay? And for people that have tried lavender or been using essential oils, the most common comment that we get with lavender is like, okay, if this is lavender, what have I been smelling? This is 100% pure lavender. Okay, you may have smelled lavender before, it may have been a lot different. This is what pure essential oils smell like. So, some of the benefits. From an emergency perspective, okay, burns. These will treat any kind of burns very effectively. It not only takes the pain away almost instantly, but it also, remember at the beginning I mentioned that the oils are all backed by science. There's been study after study after study on essential oils. So one of the university studies show that lavender will actually regenerate skin. Okay? And it does it pretty fast. So not only will it take the pain away and soothe, it will actually regenerate and help your burn heal much, much faster. So if a burn normally blisters up, you put lavender on, take the pain away, the blister will go back down surface level, okay? And also help it from prevent scarring. Which, you know, with burns, scars, those come after. If you want to limit your scarring or completely, you know, it depends on the severity of the burn, but it'll help not scar, okay? Lavender also is most commonly used for any kind of sleeping disorders. You guys all know what Lunesta and Ambien and all those pharmaceuticals are for sleep? People need to sleep. People get desperate. You need to sleep. Okay, what we're saying is why not try lavender first? You know, work faster, no side effects, can't become addicted to it, you can't build up a resistance to it. It's going to save you a heck of a lot of money with no expiration or shelf life. Why wouldn't you try that first? So there's a better way, and all you got to do is try it. Okay? Also very commonly used for bug bites, bee stings. Lavender is what is referred to as the Swiss Army knife of oils because it has so many different properties. It can be used for a lot of different ailments. Okay? I'll skip this. This is really hard to see. If you guys want to see it afterwards, I can show you. So the next oil I want to pass around is lemon. Lemon, you guys will love. This one I stock up extra in all my emergency preparedness, okay, because it's one of the most powerful antiseptics in the world. In addition to that, it's extremely antiviral. It's a citrus oil. So we talked a little bit about citrus oils. It's antiviral, it's antifungal, has a lot of other properties associated with it. It's a diuretic, it's an astringent, it's a disinfectant. You guys know a lot of cleaning products contain lemon. Not just because it smells great, it's because it's such a powerful disinfectant. It's such a powerful antiseptic. It can also be used as an antibiotic. And remember, you can take this internally. So yes, you can make your own antibiotics. Okay? This is also a great cleanse, a great detoxifier, especially of the liver. There's a lot of practical applications that's not necessarily emergency, but very practical, like getting gum out of hair. Okay? Just put a couple drops of lemon in your fingers. The gum will slide right out. Getting permanent marker for those that have kids or a messy husband. Permanent marker, lemon will take permanent marker out, off walls, off carpet. It's pretty amazing. So peppermint. This is one of my favorite oils. Everyone's heard of peppermint. Not everyone knows what it does. Let's talk about that. It's another one that has a lot of properties, okay? And from an emergency standpoint, this is a phenomenal oil to keep on hand. You always, always, always want peppermint, okay, for a couple of reasons. It's probably the most used oil for headaches. You know, if you get migraines, we have another oil for that. That's a different animal. Migraines we can help you with too. But this is for common headaches. Peppermint is very effective, and it does it very, very quickly. Another thing that you would want to use peppermint for, keep it on hand, is fevers. Okay, as we pass this around, we started passing it around already. Okay, real quick. The peppermint, put 2 drops in your fingers, right like this woman right here. Put it behind your head, behind your neck, and rub it into your neck, okay? And we'll talk about what it's doing. The reason I like to show people that is because you will feel it topically. It has a cooling sensation and cooling properties. And from a fever, if somebody has a fever in your family, you can bring that fever down 2 to 3 degrees in just a couple minutes with peppermint. Even if you put it on the bottom of that person's foot, okay, because their whole body's hot. Bottom of the foot is very effective. It's also a very powerful appetite suppressant. Okay, anyone that exercises or runs or works out. University studies show that peppermint, just a drop before you go exercise, beneath your nose, has been shown to increase your oxygen uptake up to 30%. That's a lot. Okay, that's not a little bit, that's a lot. It's also an anti-inflammatory. It's also analgesic, meaning it's a painkiller. There's so many. We're just scratching the surface of all the different things that essential oils can do. You know, we could probably have a class on each oil for an hour. We're just kind of flying through some of these. So, all right, Melaleuca. Who's heard of Melaleuca? Who's heard of tea tree oil? Okay. It's the same thing. They're same oils, synonymous oil, different names. But tea tree oil, or Melaleuca, is the fungal oil, the fungus oil. Remember that. Anything fungal related, which means it's also referred to as a skin oil because any skin condition is typically a fungus issue. So other aspects, infections. Okay, from an emergency perspective, infections, cuts, you're going to want to use Melaleuca because it's going to take care of that infection pretty quick. Okay, your downtime, usually about 3/4. Let's see. For those that have issues, skin issues, remember, they're fungal related. So skin issues like dry skin, eczema, psoriasis, all fungal issues. Melaleuca is the oil you want to use. You probably want to combine that with lavender, and that'll take care of it pretty well. And all you got to do is try it. You know, you be the judge of that because we've done this so many times. And something like eczema, you take whatever lotion you like. Just take whatever lotion you like that you use, and put about 3 or 4 drops of Melaleuca and 3 or 4 drops of lavender in there, and mix it up, and then apply that in the morning when you wake up on the affected areas, and at night before you go to bed. And watch how fast. Watch what happens to your eczema. Okay? Remember, they don't expire, so when you need them, they'll be there. You want to get this? Let me touch on this real briefly because this is such a serious issue, especially here in America. Chronic candida, yeast overgrowth. Okay, this is about 80 to 85% of all Americans suffer from chronic candida, and they don't even know it. Why don't they know it? Why does their doctor say they have chronic candida? Okay, one of the reasons is it doesn't get diagnosed as candida. Candida itself has 300 known symptoms. Each of them have their own disease name attached to them. Okay? So you might have eczema, or chronic fatigue, or fibromyalgia, or restless leg syndrome, or acne. There's 300 symptoms. And so you get diagnosed, and then they treat or try to band-aid that symptom without going to the root cause. Okay? If you can take care of the candida, how cool would that be? So, Melaleuca, okay, remember it's a fungal oil. Candida is yeast, it's fungus. The reason that's important to take care of because 70% of your immune system should be comprised in your gut. Okay? And chronic candida or yeast overgrowth takes over your gut and your intestines, where that 70% of your immunity should be. So if you don't have that, and that 70% is out the window, you're fighting an uphill battle with your immune system. You're going to have a hard time. And you notice it's always the same people that get sick over and over and over again. Okay? This is typically why. You want to boost your immune system, get rid of the candida, and then follow up with some probiotic, okay, to boost that healthy intestinal flora, the healthy bacteria that we need to boost our immune system. But write this down. This is our candida blend, okay? You go get those empty gel capsules, and you put 5 drops. It's going to be even amounts of these oils. 5 drops of Melaleuca, or tea tree oil, 5 drops of oregano, which we'll touch on in a moment, and 5 drops of lemon, which we've already touched on. Those 3. Equal parts, 5 drops each. Seal it up, swallow it once a day for 10 days, okay? And if you have a bunch of those symptoms of candida, watch what happens, okay? It's pretty exciting. Now, if you keep on going with the same lifestyle, and eating the same things, your candida could come back because it comes with the average American diet. So if you want to get rid of it permanently, you're going to want a lifestyle change. Here's about 40 of the symptoms. You probably can't see those way back there of candida. Remember, there's 300. All right, let's talk about oregano. Everyone Everyone likes pasta, right? Pasta sauce, pizza. Oregano, in essential oil form, is one of the most strong. It's beyond strong. It's not very pleasant either, but man, this is like medicine cabinet in a bottle. Oregano is one of the most powerful antibiotics in the world without the side effects. This is not one that's pleasant to taste, and so I recommend if you use it as an antibiotic, take it internally, but take it in a gel capsule, kind of like the Candida blend that I just talked about. We're not going to pass oregano around. Okay, it does not taste good. You don't want to put it on. It's a hot oil, but man, does it work. There's a lot of other uses for oregano. It's one of the most powerful antivirals as well. It's got a lot of other properties associated. I like to use it primarily as an antibiotic. So, is anyone familiar with MRSA? And then we got a physician here. Of course you're familiar with MRSA. MRSA, it's a superbug. Superbug meaning it's resistant to antibiotics. Okay? And that should be important to you because, and by the way, it stands for methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. It's a staph infection that starts as a staph infection. It can then go into your bones and go into other organs, but it's resistant to antibiotics. Okay, catch-22. What do? You know, there's 20 to 40,000 people in the U.S. alone that die from MRSA every single year because people primarily contract. You can contract it from other places too, like a gym, okay, or a play center. Most people contract it in a hospital environment, but then they expect the hospital to take care of it with their antibiotics that it's resistant to. You see the catch-22? So, something very effective against MRSA is oregano and melaleuca, by the way. MRSA, okay? We haven't found a single person that when taking oregano and melaleuca that the MRSA doesn't disappear. And this is just one superbug. There's a lot of other superbugs that are making their way in the United States from other countries that make MRSA look like nothing. So just know, having the peace of mind knowing that you take care of yourself, your family naturally, the comfort of your home, regardless of whatever situation. Okay, that's a big peace of mind. Frankincense, most people have heard of frankincense. It's an absolutely amazing oil. A lot of people have not heard of the different properties that are associated with frankincense. So let me read some of them. So it's an expectorant, it's anti-cancer, it's an antidepressant. By the way, there's been studies done on it with cancer. Specifically out of the University of Oklahoma, Dr. H.K. Lin, a renowned cancer scientist. He studied all frankincense specifically, okay, the dōTERRA frankincense, with bladder cancer. And you can go look up his studies. He published them. And he shows how frankincense just kills the bladder cancer and leaves the healthy cells. Which, that was pretty amazing to him because he's not used to seeing that. He's used to studying, you know, things like chemo and radiation, where it just wipes out everything. It's one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories that you can use. So it's been used, you know, a lot of degenerative diseases, chronic illnesses, they all stem from inflammation in the body. If you control the inflammation, you can, of course, control the symptoms in most instances. So, extremely anti-inflammatory. It's great for the skin. It's fantastic for depression. It's an antidepressant. It's also great for anxiety. Okay? By the way, citrus oils, like wild orange and lemon, those are fantastic for anxiety and depression as well. And they're a little cheaper. So, some other uses for frankincense: scar tissue, ulcers, wounds. I already mentioned depression. It's also an analgesic, so it's a painkiller. Skin care, disorders of the uterus. The list goes on and on and on. These are just some of them. So, there's a few blends. What we've been covering are single oils. There's a few blends I want to cover. Blends are multiple oils that are formulated for very specific reasons. So, the first blend I want to talk about is our #1 referred oil Okay, for any kind of class that I teach, most people are sitting in the audience because of this one oil. This is our pain blend. Anything pain related, it's got a lot of anti-inflammatories in there, as well as some regenerative oils. So, Deep Blue, we're gonna go ahead and pass this around. What I want you guys to do, this is a roll-on. It also comes in a normal bottle that drips. So we got two roll-ons going around. What I want you to do, if you have pain, if you don't have any pain, then just smell it. If you have pain, I want you to use it right now. I don't care if it's carpal tunnel or arthritis, or knee pain, or joint pain, or back pain. I want you to try it, okay? It doesn't take much. Just roll on a little bit, and then rub it in with your fingers, okay? Very simple. It's an amazing, amazing oil. If any of you guys have questions specifically on this oil, because pain is very common in our society, and a lot of people just want the pain to go away. That's why they're on medications. That's why they seek doctors' help. We've had people that, in terms of back, people that were scheduled for back surgery, that just finally, after 20 years of pain, finally gave in and scheduled a back surgery. Came to one of my classes, tried the Deep Blue, instantly took the pain away. They came up to me afterwards and said, 20 years, I've never had anything, any medication, any prescription that did what that oil just did. Okay? And they canceled their back surgery because of that Deep Blue. And so that's what it does. We work with a lot of people with arthritis, because arthritis is debilitating. And it's hard to get relief from arthritis, unless it's pretty dangerous, especially long-term drugs. So if you have arthritis, please put it on. Whether it's your knuckles, whether it's any joints, try it, rub it in. As that's going around, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next oil. We have a blend. It's called Breathe. Breathe, as the name implies, is our respiratory blend. Everything from here to here. So sinus issues, congestion, colds, coughs, emphysema, asthma, okay? Doesn't matter if it's sports-induced asthma or normal full-blown asthma. And most people that attend my class with asthma, they say all they had to do was just breathe it when they were having an asthma attack, and it took their asthma attack away faster than their actual inhaler did. Pretty amazing. So, you're welcome to put a drop of that on your hand, rub it in, cup it, smell it. You can put it on your nose. For people that have sports-induced asthma, you're probably going to want to just put a drop or two underneath your nose before you go running, and that should do the trick just fine. RSV, I don't know if people get RSV here very often. In colder climates, RSV is a pretty big issue for infants. They can't get their breathing level up to where they need to, so they have to be in the hospital on a breathing apparatus. Just put a drop or two of breathe on the bottom of that infant's foot, and open up their airways, to open up their sinus cavities, helps them breathe. The blends are a little easier to figure out because the names kind of imply what they do. Digestin, okay, is, what's that? Okay. We're not going to pass around Digestin. Digestin is for all digestive support, anything gastrointestinal, okay, which also means not just things like upset stomach or nausea, but things like diarrhea, things like constipation, things that are stemmed from things in the gut, like acid reflux, heartburn. Apply a drop, just put it right at your chest. Okay? You can also take this internally, like we talked about, whether it's a glass of water, or if you don't like the taste, you put it in an empty gel capsule. It's pretty hard to mess up. Any which way works. Motion sickness. Okay, On Guard, you guys. On Guard is a really, really cool oil. It's actually referred to as our immune system builder, okay? Natural defense. And we're going to pass it around. This has cinnamon, clove. Clove is the highest antioxidant in the world. Cinnamon is second. It's got wild orange in it. It's got eucalyptus. It's got rosemary. A lot of great oils in this. This is what's going to boost up your immune system. And it's, I use it as a preventative measure. If you forget to take it, I take 2 drops a day internally. I like to just put a straight, I have a bottle of On Guard on my nightstand. Without fail, every night, I take 2 drops, okay? And in almost 2 years, I have not had as much as the sniffles, not a cold, not a sore throat, okay? It is an amazing oil. If you forgot to take it as a preventative measure and you come down with something, you can still take it. Take it now. And it'll cut your downtime pretty quick. It'll help you get rid of whatever you're fighting off. So On Guard, and by the way, Dr. Hill, who is one of our executives, one of our founders of our company, he's one of the foremost knowledgeable experts on essential oils in the world. He's written many, many books. He travels all over the world, teaches classes on essential oils. He takes 4 oils daily. That's preventative. Okay? We have a lot of oils. He uses all the others as needed. He takes 4 daily. They are lemon. He usually puts that in his water. He takes Balance. Balance is the one that affected his blood. The blood slide that we showed you, the blood video. He just puts that on the bottom of his foot. He takes On Guard 2 drops every day. That's where we got that from. He also takes, let's see, lemon, frankincense. So we touched on frankincense. He uses frankincense as a preventative measure. And that cancer doctor, the cancer scientist, Dr. H.K. Lin, he was quoted saying, "My only fear is that people will read my cancer study with frankincense and think that they can just use any frankincense." Okay? Because he tested other frankincense oils as well. It did not do the same thing. And so that was his fear. So I'm here to tell you, his study was on dōTERRA frankincense oil. So, again, we just covered about 8 or 9 oils out of all the oils we carry, just kind of scratching the surface. But even with that, there's a lot of information coming at you. It's okay, you don't need to remember a thing. There's a book, it's a reference. It turns anybody, I see this gentleman holding it right here. Can you hold that up for me? It's like, it's mine. So it's called the Modern Essentials book. Very, very simple. It turns anybody, brand new, doesn't matter how experienced you are with oils, anybody into an instant oil expert. Because you can look it up by oil, whatever oil you have in your possession. You say, what does frankincense do? What does lavender do? I don't know how to use it. It'll tell you all the properties. You know, it'll tell you the most common uses, studies, how to use it, and then vice versa. In the latter half of the book, you can look it up by ailment or symptom. Alphabetized. You say, I have plantar fasciitis. I have a headache. I have a sore throat or an earache. What do? You can look it up and it'll tell you in order of priority. It's all color-coded. Okay? In order of priority, so the most effective ones would be red. Well, if you don't have any red ones, remember, each oil can have a crossover in properties. And so, just because you don't have a specific oil, doesn't mean you may not have another oil that would work. So, red is first priority, yellow is second priority, I think green is third priority, and it'll tell you how to use it. So either way, you can't get lost. And this book, you can buy online. You can buy online at Aroma Tools for $25 plus shipping. We have them here at the show, and there's a way to get it for free, and there's a way to pay for it. At the show, we have a show special, only $20. That includes, there's no shipping, of course, because you're here picking up. We have them in stock, but that includes tax and everything. Okay? And if you want it for free, any order, and you can come over to our booth, talk to us, we'll explain how that works, but any order of $200 or more will get you a free book. Okay? Let's see. I want to cover just a couple quick things really fast that you're going to want to know about. Some promotions that we have going on. The first of which is, and there's different kits, and all the kits are priced below wholesale. By the way, there's 2 ways to order. There's retail and there's wholesale. I recommend, you can buy however the heck you want, okay? I recommend buying wholesale because there's no requirements. You can buy wholesale just like I buy wholesale for the same price I buy them for at 25% off. And it's just like a Costco membership. You pay a $35 membership fee and you're wholesale for the entire year. Okay? The only way, to buy retail, a lot of people ask, well, where's the cutoff? The only way you're going to save money buying retail is if you were to buy, depending on the oils, but approximately 3 to 4 oils a year. Nobody buys just 3 to 4 oils a year, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to buy retail, but you can do whatever you want. But we have kits. I told you how to get the diffuser. I was going to tell you how to get the diffuser for free. It's a $120 diffuser. With any kit, $500 or more, that comes free. You also get $100 in free product credits in addition to all the oils. Come over to our booth and we'll give you more detail. But there's also a promotion. Anybody at the show that orders at least $100 worth of products, and then next month order $100. We'll give you the details on that, but order another $100 next month. After that, you can do whatever you want. But you get a voucher for another $300, okay, that you can use on any oils you want. So those are the promotions. There's also another promotion that is kind of cool. You get, when you order any order of $200, corporate's going to throw in another 4 oils for you for free. It's about an $80, $83 value. And 3 of those 4 oils you cannot buy separately, okay? So it's a limited time. Basil is in there, which basil you can't buy anytime. You get a free bottle of basil. You get a free bottle of tangerine, which you can't even buy. You have to get it through this promotion. You get a free bottle of cilantro, and cilantro is one of the best detoxifiers to remove heavy metals, lead, arsenic, mercury that there is. And what's the 4th one? Let's see, black pepper. You get a free bottle of black pepper essential oil. Do you guys know they can make essential oil out of black pepper? It's pretty, and you can cook with all these oils too. So not only do you receive the health benefits,